Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of our podcast. Today's topic is something that gets people excited, emotional, and sometimes even a little competitive. We're diving into talking about my favorite sports. I know I've got a few favorites lined up, and I'm curious about Mia's choices too.
Hi guys! Yes, I'm really pumped about this one. Sports have such a unique way of bringing people together, sparking passion, and creating memories. And Alex, I already know you're going to get carried away with your dramatic sports stories. Haha.
Guilty as charged. But hey, that's what makes sports so much fun to talk about. You don't just watch them, you live them, you feel them. So Mia, should we kick things off with you telling me your favorite sport?
Sure, but before that, can I just say, it's so interesting how favorite sport can mean different things at different stages of life. Like when I was a kid, I loved one thing. Then as a teenager, it shifted, and now as an adult, it has changed again. Do you feel the same?
Absolutely. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with soccer. I would run around the park pretending to be Ronaldo or Messi, but as I grew older, I found myself leaning into basketball more because of the energy and the community around it. So yeah, I totally get you.
Haha. I can picture little Alex running around in an oversized jersey. For me, I think the first sport I ever connected with was badminton. It started at home with my dad. He'd pull out 2 rackets and we'd just play in the backyard until it got dark.
That's so wholesome. I love those kinds of memories. Badminton is so underrated, honestly. People think it's this easy sport, but when you watch professionals, the speed, the reflexes, the strategy, it's mind-blowing.
Exactly. And the best part is, even at a casual level, it feels super accessible. You don't need a big field, a ton of equipment, or a huge group. Just 2 rackets, a shuttle, and you're good to go.
True. It's the simplicity that makes it universal. But okay, since you mentioned your first love being badminton, is that still your number one favorite, or has it changed over time?
That's the tough part. Badminton is still close to my heart, but if I had to choose my absolute favorite now, I think it would be tennis. There's something about the intensity of one-on-one battles that makes it so thrilling for me. What about you, Alex?
I see you've upgraded from shuttle to racket with strings that can take some serious pounding. Haha. For me, like I said, soccer and basketball were my childhood obsessions. But if I had to pick my favorite right now, it's definitely basketball.
I knew it. You've always had that NBA Finals commentator vibe when you talk about basketball.
Ha ha ha, guilty again. But hey, basketball has this beautiful mix of athleticism, creativity, and teamwork. And I can't lie, there's something magical about that last-minute buzzer beater, the whole crowd holding its breath, then exploding in cheers. It's addictive.
That adrenaline rush is unmatched. And I totally get what you mean about teamwork. I feel like tennis, while often individual, teaches resilience and focus. Whereas basketball teaches cooperation and adapting to different players' strengths.
Exactly, and both sports highlight discipline and strategy in different ways. You know what's fun though? Comparing how fans behave in different sports. Like soccer fans are wild, basketball fans are loud but more performance-oriented. Tennis fans are polite, until something dramatic happens.
Haha, yes. Tennis fans clap like they're at a concert, then suddenly gasp loudly when someone misses an easy shot. The vibe is so different. I once went to a tennis match live, and the silence before a serve felt almost sacred.
Wow, you went live? That must have been surreal.
Oh, it was. I saw Serena Williams play, and the aura she carried on the court was unreal. Every shot felt like a statement. I came back more motivated to pick up my own racket, though let's be honest, I was nowhere near her level, haha.
But that's the thing about watching your favorite sport live. It inspires you. Like when I watched my first live basketball game, I couldn't sleep that night. I was replaying every dunk, every three-pointer, every cheer from the crowd in my head.
Exactly. It's like the energy lives inside you even after the match ends.
You know what's funny, Mia? After every live match I've ever attended, I come home and suddenly think I'm an athlete myself. Like, after watching a basketball game, I'll head to the court the next morning thinking I can dunk. Spoiler alert, I cannot. Ha ha ha.
Ha 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 ha. I totally relate. After I saw that Serena match, I literally went and bought new tennis shoes, a fresh set of tennis balls, and even signed up for a weekend class. For the first 2 weeks, I was convinced I'd discovered my hidden pro athlete side. Then reality hit. My serves were flying in every direction except inside the box.
Oh my God, I've been there. It's like your brain absorbs all the brilliance you've just witnessed, but your body is like, sorry buddy, not today.
Exactly. But honestly, even those failed attempts are so memorable. I remember once in that class I tried to do a dramatic overhead smash, like the kind you see in highlight reels, and I ended up hitting the ball into the net so hard it bounced back and smacked me on the head. Everyone laughed, including me.
Haha, that's golden. See, that's the beauty of sports. Even failures turn into funny memories. For me, one of my funniest was during a school basketball match. I was so pumped, grabbed a rebound, and instead of running toward our basket, I sprinted in the wrong direction, almost scored for the other team.
No way! You really pulled the wrong basket move?
Yep. And the worst part, nobody stopped me until I was right at the hoop. Then the referee blew the whistle, and my teammates were just holding their heads in disbelief. The crowd laughed so loud, I think I blushed for a week straight.
Ha ha, that is priceless. But, those embarrassing stories are actually part of why we love these sports so much. They humble us. They remind us it's not just about winning, but about the journey, the fun, the mess-ups too.
Couldn't agree more. And when you look back, those little moments become some of the best stories to share. Like right now, I'd rather laugh about scoring at the wrong basket than brag about scoring 20 points in a regular game.
Exactly. That's the storytelling side of sports. It makes me think, don't you find that favorite sports often reflect our personalities too?
Interesting point. What do you mean by that?
Like, take tennis for me. It's about independence, mental strength, pushing yourself when no one else can help you. That kind of mirrors my personality. I like challenging myself, being self-reliant. But badminton, my childhood favorite, was more about bonding with my dad, sharing laughs, playing for fun. So both sports tie into who I am in different ways.
Wow, that's deep but so true. If I look at basketball, it's all about teamwork, communication, and sometimes even improvisation. And that kind of fits me. I love collaborating, working with people, and figuring things out on the spot.
Exactly. So it's not just about the sport itself, but about how it shapes us and how it mirrors parts of us.
Now I'm curious, if you had to explain your life through sports, would you say tennis represents your present self and badminton represents your roots?
Yes, I think that's exactly it. Tennis feels like where I am now, focused, ambitious, independent. Badminton feels like my roots, fun, family, and carefree. What about you, Alex? Soccer for your childhood, basketball for your now?
Spot on. Soccer was pure passion and energy as a kid. No strategy, just running and kicking. Basketball feels like my adulthood sport. It has structure, discipline, yet still carries that passion.
That's so beautiful. It's like our sports journey maps out our growth as people.
And that's why when someone asks, "What's your favorite sport?" it's never just a one-word answer. It's a whole story.
Totally. And speaking of stories, have you ever had a sports injury that changed the way you felt about your favorite sport?
Oh yes, don't get me started. Twisted my ankle badly during a game once, and for months I was terrified of jumping. I'd hesitate every time. It taught me patience though. I learned to respect my body more. What about you?
For me, it was a shoulder strain from over-practicing serves in tennis. I had to rest for weeks, and I remember being so frustrated. But that break gave me perspective. It made me realize how much I loved the game, because I missed it so badly when I couldn't play.
That's powerful. Sometimes setbacks remind us of what really matters to us.
Yes, exactly. Sports have this way of teaching us resilience, don't they?
Absolutely. They teach resilience, patience, teamwork, humility, all wrapped up in fun, sweat, and sometimes pain.
You know, Alex, talking about resilience and patience makes me think about how sports influence entire cultures, not just individuals like us. It's incredible when you realize that a single game can unite millions of people across the world.
That's so true. Like, think about the World Cup in soccer. Entire nations literally pause everything to watch their teams play. Streets are empty, shops close early, families gather around TVs. It's not just a sport, it's a global celebration.
Exactly. I remember during the last World Cup, even though I'm not the biggest soccer fan, I got swept into the hype. I found myself watching matches with friends, screaming at goals, and feeling heartbroken when teams lost. It's contagious.
Ha ha ha, yes, the passion is so infectious. And it's not just soccer. Think about Wimbledon for tennis or the NBA Finals for basketball. Even people who don't normally follow those sports suddenly start caring because the energy is so magnetic.
True. And the athletes become more than just players. They become symbols. Like Serena Williams isn't just a tennis star, she's an icon of strength, perseverance, and breaking barriers.
Exactly. Same with someone like Michael Jordan in basketball. He wasn't just about winning games. He inspired an entire generation to dream bigger. His influence goes beyond the court. It's in fashion, in mindset, in motivation.
That's the beauty of sports heroes. They're not just admired for their skills, but for their stories. I think that's why kids put posters of athletes on their walls. It's like saying, I want to be as fearless, dedicated, and strong as them.
Yeah, and you know what's wild? Even a single iconic moment can live forever in people's minds. Like, I'll never forget Kobe Bryant's last game, 60 points. The whole stadium chanting his name, tears in everyone's eyes. That wasn't just a game, it was history.
Wow! Yes. I felt the same when I watched Roger Federer win Wimbledon for the 8th time. The way he stood there holding the trophy, it wasn't just a win. It was like witnessing a chapter close in tennis history.
And those moments stay with you. They shape your love for the sport. I mean, sometimes I go on YouTube just to rewatch buzzer beaters or game-winning goals because they give me chills every single time.
Ha ha, same. I rewatch Rafael Nadal's epic 5-hour matches whenever I need motivation. Like, if he can fight through exhaustion for 5 hours straight, I can definitely get through my tough workday.
That's the magic right there. Sports inspire us even in everyday life. They remind us to push, to stay focused, to keep going when things get tough.
Exactly. And beyond personal motivation, sports create bonds between people too. Like, have you noticed how friendships are built around favorite teams or shared game experiences?
Oh yes, totally. Some of my closest friendships actually grew because of pickup basketball games. We'd start as strangers on the court, then slowly build trust, communication, and eventually real friendship.
Same here. I met one of my best friends during a local tennis tournament. We were opponents, but afterward we got talking, and now years later she's one of the most important people in my life.
That's beautiful. Sports have this natural way of breaking barriers, age, background, culture. None of it matters when you're on the court or in the crowd cheering. Everyone's united by the game.
Exactly. Which is why I think when people ask, why do you love this sport? The answer is always bigger than just the rules or the game itself. It's about community, inspiration, and connection.
Well said. Favorite sports aren't just entertainment. They become part of our identity.
You know, Alex, all this talk about sports being part of our identity reminds me of how fans express their love. Some people have the funniest or most bizarre rituals before or during a game. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, absolutely. I had a friend in college who swore his team would lose if he didn't wear the same jersey for every match. And I don't mean just the same style, I mean the exact same unwashed lucky jersey. It was, let's just say, not the freshest smell after a season. Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha, oh no, poor guy's roommates must have suffered. But you know what? I get it. Fans believe these little things influence outcomes, and it becomes a tradition. For me, when I watch a tennis final, I always have to make popcorn. If there's no popcorn, I feel like the game doesn't have the same vibe.
Haha, that's so wholesome compared to a smelly jersey. My family actually had a tradition during soccer World Cups. We'd gather at my uncle's house, and every single match, no matter which teams were playing, he'd insist we all wear the colors of one team. Even if it was two random countries none of us supported, we'd still pick sides and dress up.
That's adorable. So basically, your uncle turned every match into a mini family rivalry?
Exactly, and the funny part was, half the family didn't even know the players' names, but they'd still cheer passionately. My grandma once yelled, "Come on, Ronaldo," when he wasn't even on the field, haha.
Haha, that's priceless. I love that sports create those moments. In my family, it was more subtle. During Wimbledon, my dad and I would have this silent agreement. We wouldn't take phone calls or answer the door until the match was over. It was like our little bubble.
That's really sweet. It's amazing how sports carve out traditions like that. Even something as small as popcorn or silence turns into a ritual that stays with you for life.
Yes, and it bonds people. I remember once I went to a cricket match with friends. It wasn't even my favorite sport, but the crowd's energy pulled me in. People were singing, dancing, waving flags. I felt like part of a giant family.
Cricket fans are wild in the best way. I once saw a guy paint his entire body in his team's colors. Like full body paint, head to toe. He stood in the crowd screaming for hours. Dedication level 100.
Ha ha! Oh, wow! That kind of passion is contagious, though. You can't help but get swept up in it. Do you have any personal lucky charm ritual when you play basketball?
Oh yeah, I do. Before every free throw, I bounce the ball exactly 3 times, spin it once in my hands, then shoot. If I forget the routine, my shot almost always misses. It's probably psychological, but hey, it works.
Haha, that's classic. For me in tennis, before serving, I always bounce the ball twice. If I bounce it more or less, I feel completely off rhythm.
See? We all have these little quirks. They're like personal superstitions that make us feel connected to the game.
And sometimes they make great stories too. I once had a doubles partner who refused to play without her lucky headband. One day she forgot it, so she tied a sock around her head instead. She looked hilarious, but she swore it kept her focus.
Haha, that's commitment right there. I bet she played like a champ with the sock.
She actually did. Maybe the sock had hidden powers, who knows, haha.
Sports really do bring out the creative side of people. Whether it's fans with crazy outfits or players with quirky habits.
Totally. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to the same thing. Love for the game and the joy it brings.
You know, Mia, as much as sports are about fun and rituals, some of my most powerful memories are the emotional ones. Those victories and defeats that stick with you forever. Do you have one like that?
Oh, yes. I'll never forget the first time I won a local tennis tournament. It wasn't a huge competition, but for me, it meant everything. I had trained so hard, battled through nerves, and when that final point landed in my favor, I literally cried. Not because of the trophy, but because it proved to me that I could push past my doubts.
Wow, I can feel the emotion in that. That's beautiful. For me, it was the opposite. My most emotional moment came from losing. I remember in high school, our basketball team made it to the finals for the first time. We were seconds away from winning, but the other team scored a last-second shot. We lost by 1 point. I cried my eyes out.
Oh no, Alex, that must have hurt so much.
It did. But looking back, that game taught me more than any victory could. It showed me how to handle defeat, how to respect opponents, and how to come back stronger. That loss shaped me as a person.
That's the thing. Sports make you feel everything: joy, heartbreak, pride, frustration, and those emotions stick with you for life.
Exactly. And that's why when people ask me, why basketball? I don't just talk about the game. I talk about the lessons, the emotions, the way it makes me feel alive.
Same with me and tennis. It's not just about swinging a racket, it's about focus, resilience, and finding strength in moments you think you can't keep going.
Sports are really life lessons disguised as games.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to put it. And maybe that's why, no matter how busy life gets, we always find ourselves coming back to our favorite sports. They ground us, they inspire us, they remind us of who we are.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, Alex, I think we've covered everything. From our childhood favorites to our funny fails, our rituals, our heroes, and even our most emotional memories. This conversation really reminded me why sports mean so much.
Me too, Mia. It's been such a fun ride sharing these stories, and I hope everyone listening has also been reflecting on their own favorite sports and what they mean in their lives.
Yes, because at the end of the day, whether it's tennis, basketball, soccer, or even a casual backyard game, sports are more than just games. They're connections, memories, and life lessons rolled into one.
Well said. And with that, we'll wrap up today's episode of our podcast. Thank you all for tuning in to Talking About My Favorite Sports.
Until next time, stay active, stay inspired, and maybe even go play a match of your favorite sport today.
Exactly. And remember, whether you win, lose, or trip over your own shoelaces, haha, it's all part of the game.
Haha, yes! Bye, everyone. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.